Whenever you kill an enemy hero in Overwatch, the following kill feed UI is shown at the top right corner of your screen. This kill feed provides us with valuable information about what is happening during the match, which hero got killed, how they got killed, and who killed them. Meanwhile, in Team Fortress 2, every single class comes with a unique set of kill icons depending on the weapon unlock they are using. Let's take Sniper and his weapon unlock, Machina. This is a sniper rifle that has multiple unique kill icons, one for a body shot kill, one for a headshot kill. And if you read the description of this weapon, you know that it is also capable of penetrating enemies and getting collateral kills, which can display one of these two icons. These icons help us better understand how exactly an elimination was scored, whether it's by single bullet penetrating and killing both targets, or penetrating one enemy and killing the one behind him. Let's hop back to Overwatch and pick a hero that has a similar property to the Machina, Sojourn.
Hello.
Scoring a collateral kill with Sojourn's railgun displays the same kill icon as getting a singular kill. Not as cool as Sniper's kill icon if you were to ask me. So what if we were to take the current Overwatch kill feed and slightly rework it so that it adds more personality and information about certain eliminations and scenarios that can happen during the match? Because, you know, why not? So, by looking at the current Overwatch kill feed, we can see a couple of things that are displayed on it. The two portraits on the left and right show the attacker and victim respectively. The small hero portraits are assists from the attacker's team. The arrow icon represents an elimination, while a red arrow shows that the victim was killed by a critical kill, which is usually a headshot but can also be Mauga's critical hit on burning heroes, or Vendetta's overhead kill. Additionally, you can also see kill feeds for self-inflicted deaths, environmental deaths, resurrections, eating ultimates, and destroyed deployables. And with the basics covered, let's go ahead and discuss the first kill feed category, the eliminations. When it comes to Overwatch heroes, almost everybody can secure a kill with their weapon, ability, or a quick melee. And as you most likely know, the special kill icons for abilities, perks, and quick melee eliminations are already present in the game. These icons help us distinguish between the three types of eliminations, with the ability-based kills being the most notable ones, as they inform us that a hero ability is most likely on a cooldown, which you can use for your own advantage. So with Overwatch already having kill icons for certain types of eliminations, what else can be added? Well, let's not forget about the most common thing that most players die to in Overwatch. No, not that one. I meant weapons. Let me introduce you to these three heroes that we all love and hate. Can you tell me, what do all of them have in common? All three of these heroes have alternate fire to their weapon, and a sniper rifle with the scoped shots, Cassidy's revolver with the machine gun, and May's gun with the icicle shots. As we can see, in all three instances the default kill icon is being used, which doesn't clearly tell us if somebody died to a primary or alternate fire. So, luckily for us, we already have a primary source of inspiration for what we can do with the kill feed, as well as the icons that exist in the game. Now, let's see how this would look like in the game if we were to use these icons in the actual kill feed. And while this, in my opinion, looks cool and makes it more interesting, we can in fact take this kill feed just a bit further. This is Orisa. She shoots, she spins, but most importantly, she throws spears. And what is interesting about Orisa's spear is that it is capable of getting two different types of kills. The first kill can happen during the initial direct impact with a spear, provided that the enemy hero is low enough HP to die from it. Due to this being an ability-based kill, the kill icon is already present here. But the second way of eliminating an enemy with Orisa's spear comes from the collision with a wall or an object, that comes from the spear's knockback effect. And in this case, the kill icon also remains the same, even though it wasn't truly caused by this spear. So by just editing the spear icon just a little bit, we can add some extra context to it, showing that the kill was caused by the wall collision. We can also take Sigma and his balls and give it a similar treatment to Orisa's spear. Sigma's balls... Okay, why do I call them balls? I'm sorry. Sigma's spheres have two types of damage. Direct damage, when the spears directly collide with the enemy hero, and splash damage, a small explosion radius that happens after the sphere's collision with an enemy or by reaching its maximum travel distance. So, you probably know what's going to happen next, right? If Sigma eliminates an enemy with just direct hit damage, then this kill icon of the spheres is going to be shown. However, eliminating an enemy with a splash damage alters the icon to depict that it was splash damage that killed the hero. Oh, and I also think it will be funny to include an additional little icon that indicates if the kill was from the ricochet sphere, creating 2 additional kill icons. Okay, so now for something that a lot of DPS players, well, mostly Genji players, have probably always wanted to see. Or something that you have never thought about? Doesn't matter. Anyway, one of Genji's main abilities allows him to deflect all the hit scan and projectiles back to the enemy team, which includes most of the abilities as well. And when you are on the receiving end of Genji's deflected damage, you might be left confused as to which player has caused your death. In other words, who should I blame for shooting deflecting Genji so that I can report them for gameplay sabotage? If only there was a special icon that was displayed on the kill feed that could tell us which ability caused our death. Oh, yeah, that's what we're doing here, yeah. Here are some of the kill feed examples of deflected Genji shots that I think will make a lot of sense to have in Overwatch. And again, it is directly inspired by TF2's deflect icon that you can see from a Pyro character, who is able to do something similar to Genji's deflect. And here are some other special kill icons that I had in mind, such as Mauga kill icons for Gunny, Cha-Cha, both guns, and fire damage. Symmetrical sentry kills depending on the amount of sentries that were beaming the target. And don't worry, I have not forgotten about Sojourn and her collateral kills. The support role is often regarded as one of the roles that offers the best positive feedback loop in the game. That is, if we ignore certain situations where your teammates can say otherwise, but yeah. The positive feedback that support heroes get to experience comes via both visual and audio cues, such as the satisfying heal sound effects,
I've got you,
special voice lines, and responses that are exclusive to just support heroes.
Thank you, my friend.
Please wait while I reload.
Or this UI and sound indicator that is triggered whenever you save your teammates from danger. But when it comes to specifically displaying the contribution from the support heroes on the kill feed, that are not eliminations, there are just a few ways you can see it, like Mercy resurrecting a teammate, and a support hero being part of the assist section of a kill feed. And this is where we can add a bit more context, so that everybody has a better idea of how a particular player contributed to the assist. Let me show you the following kill feed. On the left side we have Ana boosting Cassidy, which is then followed up by him getting a kill on Juno. And on the right side we have Ana and Cassidy again, but this time we throw a nade at Juno. The kill feed remains the same, not giving you a full context of how the assist was earned. Well, obviously, we know the context behind it. Are you telling me you cannot see a Super Saiyan cowboy shooting at everyone, or are you just stupid? Listen, I'm just trying to sell the idea to my viewers, and probably one Blizzard employee that is watching this video. Stop ruining it! So now, let's change things up a little bit. Whenever a player eliminates a hero with the help of their teammate, the assisting hero will still appear on the kill feed inside this small box. But now, depending on which ability contributed to the elimination, a smaller icon shall be displayed alongside the elimination icon. And for the ultimates, it only makes sense to make it look more bright and important, similar to the icon that you see from getting an elimination by using an ultimate. But in this case, we'll be taking this entire box section and enhancing it with a similar ultimate visual effect. And if we really want to make each individual support ultimate assist unique, we can also include some special effects like these ones.
We're pretty good together.
As it was mentioned, Mercy is the only support hero that has a separate kill feed for her resurrect ability. Kiriko, Baptiste, and Wife Lever are 3 heroes who are capable of preventing a teammate's death. And when that happens, both you and your teammate see this message pop up at the middle bottom part of your screen. So, what if we take this UI element and translate it to the kill feed instead? And if multiple heroes were saved, then it stacks into one. Okay, let's pause for a moment and address a gorilla in the room.
Hi there.
Not that one, sorry. So, I can already see some of you asking, what happens when multiple support heroes contribute to an elimination? Will they all stack together, creating an absolute mess of a UI clutter, aka something like this? Well, that would certainly be a problem, if you ask me. An assist point is granted to a player whenever they help a teammate with an elimination, and the way you can help them is by either applying a negative effect such as a stun or a boop on the enemy player, providing wall hacks such as Widow's ultimate or Hanzo's recon arrow, or giving various buffs and amplifications to your teammate, usually in the form of a damage boost. So, if we were to take two support heroes and give Ashe a damage amplification in the form of a nano boost and amplification matrix, both of them will appear on the kill feed. But the order in which they are placed solely depends on which hero provided a buff to Ashe first. In this particular scenario, Ana was the first to grant Ashe a nano boost, thus placing them according to the sequence of events, and vice versa. Though it should be noted that in case of Mercy, it is a bit different. When Mercy is damage boosting her target, she will not be placed first on the kill feed if the damage boosted target has not yet damaged the enemy hero. Which means that you can damage boost a teammate, but if they deal 0 damage and then receive a secondary buff, that buff overrides Mercy's active damage boost, which makes it appear first on the kill feed. So, following this simple logic, we can also apply it to the way we want ultimates and other abilities to be displayed on the kill feed. But obviously, support heroes are not the only heroes who have supportive abilities and ultimates. We can also do it for heroes like Zarya, Sombra, and other heroes. So, after covering damage and support related icons, you're probably thinking, oh, surely, he's now going to cover all the special tank icons that will look so freaking awesome in the game. For example, I love seeing my Winston saving an entire team from a D.Va bomb by precisely dropping a Winston bubble during a jump, so it should definitely show it on the kill feed. How he just saved 5 people from death, right? I mean, it makes sense considering he just spoke about Baptiste Lamb and Kiriko's Suzu, right? Yeah, about that. Anyway, can I have everyone's opinion about this car that you can see on Oasis? Looks very sleek in my opinion, but I think we all know what the main purpose of this car is, right? Okay, that is one of them, but not quite what I was thinking. Oh yeah, this is way better. But anyway, dying to an environmental damage like getting run over by a car or jumping off the map causes the following silly icon to appear on the kill feed, which, by the way, was brought back not so long ago. It actually existed during the Overwatch 1 era. Just a little fun fact. And just like we spoke at the beginning of the video, with Team Fortress 2 having unique kill icons for each weapon, in addition to that, the game also offers unique death icons to environmental deaths, such as getting steamrolled by a train, getting sliced by a saw, or being eaten by crocodiles. And when it comes to Overwatch maps, there are basically no special environmental death zones that are present within the playable boundaries of the maps like in Team Fortress 2. The only environmental deaths that can happen in Overwatch are outside of the regular playable area. But even then, we can still make a couple of unique and fitting kill icons for some of the environmental deaths that can happen on specific maps. This is Busan Downtown. On this section of the map, 2 environmental deaths are possible. The regular one if you jump off the map, which displays the default icon, and getting hit by a train. For this one, we can use a unique icon to differentiate between the 2 possible scenarios. Or how about a special icon for falling into lava on Samoa? A unique icon for maps that have water as an environmental death zone, like Rialto. Oh, and since we spoke about crocodiles, did you know that there are crocodiles on Suravasa? No? Well, now you do. And guess what we are borrowing from TF2? And yes, these icons will also appear on the kill feed if the enemy player boops you into an environmental kill zone. Alright, so you know how I said that there are no environmental death zones on the playable area of Overwatch maps, right? Not for the certain group of things. Let me introduce you to entities, or as we like to call them, deployables. So, while our heroes are safe from any environmental damage within the bounds of a playable zone of the maps, the same cannot be said about the deployables on the map. Now, let me introduce you to every support and bottom fragging player's nightmare in the game. Payload and pushbot, also known as the main objective. If you're to accidentally put a deployable in front of either of these 2 objectives, the payload or the pushbot simply end up destroying them. However, no visible kill feed is present whenever that happens, even though it used to appear on the kill feed before in Overwatch 1. So, the most obvious thing we can do is show this silly interaction on the kill feed, and the icon that is displayed on the left side changes depending on if you're on a push or a payload map. Okay, now surely you're going to talk about tank kill icons, right? Right? Right, so let me look at what else is there left for us to conceptualize. Okay. Oh, I see. Obscure and special kill icons. I wonder what that means. Oh, I know. Let's think about truly special kill icons that will be fun to see on the kill feed, I guess. Have you ever killed an enemy hero during their mid-animation of an ultimate followed by a funny death sound? Yeah, like that one, which is called an Ajax in case you're new to Overwatch. Killing an enemy while they're in the middle of executing their ultimate is not only funny, but can also be a game-winning kill that you can get. And I think it will make sense to have it be shown to everybody in the match. Also, as somebody who is an anime, this should also be a thing. So you know how some of the mythic skins come with an option to change how your weapon model looks like? Let's take for example this Tracer mythic skin, which has a few weapon variants. But what's important for us are these weapon icons. Unfortunately, these icons are exclusive to just this mythic selection screen and you can never see them used anywhere else in the game. And since we already discussed how the weapon icons should be present on the kill feed, it will just make a lot of sense to have mythic variants replace the default icons. This could be a good bonus for mythic weapon skins, you know, to make them just a bit more appealing to have, even if it's just 10 pixels on the top right side of your screen. Now, let's just quickly add these kill icons that don't even exist in the game. Sombra imping the Symmetra wall, and Mei ultimate, as well as Baptiste window. And for the grand finale, let's see how the kill feed will look like with 4 assists, with 1 being an ultimate, while Ajaxing an enemy Lucio into an environmental kill. Yep, that's crazy, I know. But as always, like with most concepts, these were made just for fun, and to see how it will look like in Overwatch in case it ever gets considered. But otherwise, let me know which idea you like the most and would love to see in Overwatch. As always, a huge shout out to the channel members for supporting my channel. If you'd like to support me and my silly ideas, feel free to become a channel member or by joining my Discord server to stay updated with everything I'm doing. And as always, I shall see you in the— So, are you not going to talk about tank icons? I watched the whole— I shall see you all in the next one.